Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, protesters rally before Bangor City Council in support of Bangor's homeless.
Plus, Mainers attend a special summit in Michigan to discuss how PFAS chemicals have impacted their lives.
And a special commission is trying to find ways to improve emergency medical services all around the state of Maine.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us. We'll have those stories coming up. But first, a check of that forecast. And it's looking like a beautiful day out there today. We'll see lots of sunshine, a bit cooler. You noticed even coming into work this morning, it was down in the 30s this morning. So things are certainly cooling down, but today should be nice.
Yeah, seems like it. And Thursday, as high as 71.
Sounds pretty good. Looks like more cloudy that day. Maybe a chance of a little rain tomorrow, but at least it's just clouds later on. Keep it dry.
Sounds good to me. Here's Devin Biggs with that forecast.
All righty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. A first weather forecast brought to you by Tip Trailer Grocers, offering discounted and a great selection of local produced meat and dairy. So let's get into things this morning. And overall, a little bit of areas of dense fog developing in a few spots this morning near the Millinocket area, maybe in a few other spots as well, but nothing too ridiculous to worry about there this morning. Radar and satellite is very quiet. We'll say dry all day long and just a few clouds at best, say, and that'll be about it. So a lot of sunshine will be common today. So get outside and enjoy it. It will be a nice day to do anything outside, as we're going to be watching for eventually some rain that's moving from the west to the east. This will fizzle out and miss us as it tracks off towards the east over time. So otherwise, no futurecast for today. Watching for some clouds that will be moving through on and off from time to time. But overall, we're looking pretty good. A few clouds moving through as we head towards early Wednesday morning. Perhaps a shower possible too. We'll have to keep an eye on that too. We'll watch as it tracks off towards the south and east. As for the winds, not a big deal at all. Roughly out of the southwest at around 5 to 10 miles per hour today. Rather, it's staying mainly consistent as we do move forward later on tonight as well. And also tomorrow looking a little bit more gusty with some winds up to 10 miles per hour or more. So otherwise for today, upper 50s, mostly sunny, awesome out there today. With the south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, lower 40s, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for showers. South wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. A lot of sunshine out there with temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Dozens of protesters gathered at last night's Bangor City Council meeting to show solidarity with local unhoused populations. Some are upset the city forced many homeless people to leave the city's largest camp last week. Our Callie Warren takes us to Bangor City Hall.
Protesters from all over Maine rallied at Bangor's City Council meeting after people living in a large homeless encampment were issued trespass warnings. Those showing up in opposition of what many are calling an encampment sweep wore green X's to show solidarity.
I went home really scared for my friends and family that they weren't going to be around, that they were going to die this weekend. Being around community saves lives, and by displacing them, you are having death sentences for some of our citizens in Bangor. They are Bangor citizens as long as they are sleeping out there. They've earned it more than the rest of us.
Around 20 members of the public spoke out against the city's latest encampment sweep. People who are unhoused say it's not as easy as just finding a home, and they face mistreatment at many shelters.
I was homeless in 2021, and I was 6 months pregnant at the Purple Street Teen Center, and it was a blizzard, and we had to switch from the day shelter to the night shelter. In a blizzard, 6 months pregnant, I was carrying a suitcase, a duffel bag. It was freezing outside, and the staff went inside, and they just looked at us for at least a solid 10 minutes before letting us inside.
Some city council members agree with protesters and say they are working to find solutions, but stress the fact that this decision was not made lightly.
This was carried out with the intention of addressing our city's complex housing and homelessness crises, and it has left many of our most vulnerable citizens in an even more desperate situation.
You're here tonight to see us try to preserve the housing stock for workforce housing, for apartments. That's what City Council does. I see your signs, poverty is not a crime. Everyone on this table will hear me say that a million times, visible poverty is not a crime.
Those who oppose the encampment closures intend to keep speaking at city council meetings and advocate for the health and safety of people who are homeless. In Bangor, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, as we continue to follow the City of Bangor's efforts to grapple with the homelessness crisis, we have new information regarding the area known as Tent City. As we told you last Friday, city officials visited the large encampment behind the Hope House and Living Center, asking those who were not actively working with the city caseworkers to leave the premises. Well, according to Bangor Police Department, 3 criminal trespass warnings were written and 1 tent site was posted, but 0 criminal arrests were made.
Went out Friday afternoon to issue criminal trespass notices if necessary and to post a couple of tents as they need to be removed. Most of the people out there are working to get someplace to go. I mean, the biggest problem is there are a lot of people out there that have vouchers for housing. There just isn't housing available for everybody right now.
Well, McCambly says those given trespass warnings needed to leave by yesterday. According to the City of Bangor, the trespass orders do not become part of their criminal record. City officials say those who remain at the site will continue to work with the city and community partners to secure safe and permanent housing.
Bangor has also adopted a new set of rules for short-term rentals in the city. The rules approved last night will help regulate Airbnbs and other short-term rentals that had been operating illegally. Under the new rules, the owners will have to have their units inspected and licensed. According to the Bangor Daily, the city wants to regulate the rentals so they don't impact the limited housing stock or cause rental prices to increase. You can read the new rules for yourself at the city's website at bangormaine.gov.
2 people now face multiple charges after the Penobscot County Sheriff's Department seized hundreds of grams of methamphetamine and a gun during a traffic stop. It happened Sunday night around 10:40 when the Sheriff's Department conducted a traffic stop in Corinna. The Sheriff's Office says during that stop, investigators discovered 321 grams of methamphetamine and a concealed 9mm handgun. Deputies then arrested 44-year-old James Laurent of Dexter for aggravated trafficking in drugs. 32-year-old Tiffany Sherburne of Dexter was summoned for violation of conditions of release, as well as for various motor vehicle violations. The Sheriff's Department wants to remind the public that if you do suffer from substance use disorder, you can call 211 or text your zip code to 898-211 for a list of resources available in your area. And if you have information about this investigation or the illegal sale of drugs in your area, you are urged to contact the Penobscot County Sheriff's Department or the Maine Drug Enforcement Agency.
A man from Missouri pleaded guilty Monday to illegally crossing the Canadian border into Maine. 39-year-old Clayton DeHaven was spotted walking with a flashlight down a road on the Canadian side of the border in April of 2023. A minivan was observed on the U.S. side of the border near Hodgdon. DeHaven and his wife were then seen running across the border to the waiting van. He was arrested by Border Patrol and he admitted to the illegal crossing. DeHaven now faces up to a year in prison and a fine of up to $100,000. He'll be sentenced at a later date.
Well, a Norway man has pleaded guilty to fraudulently obtaining thousands of dollars in paycheck protection loans during the pandemic. 51-year-old Merton Weed allegedly filed 8 fraudulent PPP loan applications with different lenders and got $240,000 between May of 2020 and January of 2021. According to court records, the applications listed false average monthly payrolls and the number of employees. Weed now faces up to 20 years in prison and 3 years of supervised release and a $250,000 fine.
2 Belfast residents were arrested after police say they discovered numerous animals in their care that showed signs of abuse and neglect. Krista Sweetland and Robert DeBeck were arrested Friday and are facing 13 counts of cruelty to animals. Both are 24 years old. According to the Belfast Police Department, earlier this month, they received a complaint about the welfare of animals located at 37 Acorn Road in Belfast. Belfast police say they discovered multiple dogs and cats at that home, and they say all of them showed signs of malnutrition and abuse. As a result of that investigation, 13 animals were seized, including cats, dogs, and puppies. Some are said to be in critical condition and are being cared for by a veterinarian. At last report, Sweetland and DeBeck were being held on $2,500 cash bail. They're scheduled to be arraigned on December 1st in Waldo County Superior Court.
least we're glad they're getting some care now anyway.
Yeah.
I hate to see when those things happen.
Definitely. All right, the time now is 8:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, Maine people have worked hard to find solutions for PFAS chemicals that have contaminated parts of the state. Now they're sharing their experience on a national level.
But first, another check of your weather forecast. It looks like a pretty nice day today, mostly sunny and awesome for this time of year. The highs today will be around 57 degrees. Mostly cloudy with a chance of rain overnight, lows dropping down to the low 40s. Mostly cloudy with another chance of rain tomorrow. Not going to be a real washout tomorrow, but we might see a few raindrops. The highs tomorrow around 64.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Behind every keepsake, there's a memory. Behind every photo, there's a story. Behind Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, there's people giving back by bringing back what was thought to be lost. The details, the time, and the expertise, all packaged up behind a name that Mainers have trusted for over 35 years. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
In 10 years, Lisa Schneider will have an amazing second act, thanks to career reskilling courses from AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
You should Angie that.
Angie what?
Angie that. It means comparing custom quotes from skilled service professionals or booking at an upfront price so you can find the best price for you. Get started today at Angie.com.
Only one question leads to life-changing money.
Is it real or is it snake oil?
The game is simple. 2 outrageous products. Just pick the real from the fake.
Would you buy one of those?
Yeah, but I'm a weirdo.
Celebrity sleuths help expose who's lying.
You a cop. You can detect snake oil.
How much would you risk?
They get excited. They like to spend your money.
Go big or go home.
The con is on.
Let's play snake oil.
All new Wednesdays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
Opponents of a Katahdin region mine made their voices heard last night. As proposed, the mine would be on Pickett Mountain in northern Penobscot County. The mine is being proposed by Wolfton Resources, a Canadian exploration and development company. Maine's Land Use Planning Committee held a public comment session after acknowledging the mine's controversy.
I think the overwhelming majority of Maine, if you ask them whether they think there should be a mine in the Katahdin region, would say no. And so the reason we have so many people showing up here in Bangor to this opportunity to speak and communicate to the Commission, I think reflects the sentiment of the people of Maine.
The rally featured a variety of public speakers, and individuals were invited to testify before the Land Use Planning Committee about their personal opinions. Concerns include everything from mining safety to environmental effects.
Well, several Maine farmers impacted by the forever chemicals known as PFAS gathered at a conference in Michigan on Monday, sharing how Maine has been a leader in addressing their contamination crisis. Our Grace Blanchard has the details.
PFAS chemicals continue to impact thousands of farmers all across the state, contaminating crops and disrupting the livelihoods and businesses of many.
But farmers are a business, and they have been the most highly impacted from a business perspective, but also from a health perspective. They're worried about their families.
As Maine continues to tackle this growing issue, several Maine policy experts and farmers spoke at a symposium in Michigan to share the state's efforts.
It's just a good opportunity for states to learn from each other. Maine is definitely in the lead in terms of what we are doing around helping our farmers, the research that we're doing, the legislation that we've passed on source reduction.
Maine farmers were joined by others from across the country as they spoke on the economic and health impacts of PFAS contamination of farmland.
PFAS has managed to rob my dairy operation, that goes back 3 generations, we've managed to exterminate 80% of our herd.
Fred Stone runs a dairy farm in Arundel and says his farm has been described as ground zero after he says the highest levels of PFAS at the time were found in his water in 2016.
This is a food safety and a health issue, make no bones about it.
Farmers say this is a growing issue all across the country, and the state of Maine's efforts are grabbing national recognition.
The state of Maine has taken the lead in being on the forefront on helping farmers, and we look forward to seeing how that goes.
Advocates say the conference is another step forward in encouraging other states to follow along with Maine's efforts to continue testing for these harmful chemicals.
It's always good to get an opportunity to learn. You can always learn something. And so this conference brings all of those, brings advocates, legislators, impacted communities, researchers, and companies together to really have in-depth conversations about what is possible moving forward.
In Bangor, Grace Blanchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
A second Blue Ribbon Commission tasked with studying emergency medical services in Maine met for the first time on Monday. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard was there and has more about what they hope to accomplish in the next few months.
There's lots of work to be done, and I'm excited to be doing it with each and every one of you.
The Blue Ribbon Commission to study emergency medical services in the state has returned for the second year in a row. Previously, they laid out a series of recommendations, one of which resulted in successful legislation setting aside funds for EMS services in Maine.
Legislature appropriated $31 million from the unappropriated surplus of the general fund to the newly created Emergency Medical Services Stabilization and Sustainability Program.
The goal for this commission this time around is to examine the structure, support, and delivery of EMS services in Maine and how departments can streamline that process to provide the best possible EMS services.
So that's what really Maine EMS has to start thinking about strategically, is what can we do to ameliorate the problem and address the problem for tomorrow, because it's really challenging for us to address it today, per se.
Sam Hurley, the director of Maine Emergency Medical Services, says there's a lot of work needed surrounding the public perception of the EMS industry, especially when it comes to how EMS services are funded.
And I think that is one of our biggest problems and biggest challenges for EMS as an industry nationally, is making sure that people understand how EMS works, why it works the way it does, and its capacity to meet the growing needs of our healthcare system.
The commission is allotted 6 meetings to discuss the needs of emergency medical services in Maine and recommend short-term and long-term solutions to the legislature and governor. Their final report is due by December 15th. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, the time now is 8:18. After the break, a scholarship was created to memorialize a local young woman, and the chosen recipient has been found to have some interesting coincidences with her.
We'll explain as Good Morning Maine continues.
Maine has the best shipbuilders in the world.
But to compete, we need reliable and affordable energy.
That's why we're voting no.
No on question 3.
It will cost Mainers billions and increase costs for families and businesses like Bath Iron Works.
Like Bath Iron Works. And the politicians, they're not even required to have an operations plan when they take over. We'd never do our job without a plan.
Please vote no on question 3.
It's a bad idea for Maine.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
At your Toyota all-wheel drive headquarters, we see the world differently. You might see a sunny road, but we see the treacherous road it could become in winter. So to prepare you, we're holding the Toyota all-wheel drive savings event with thousands of Toyotas to choose from. You can get 3.99 financing on a Tacoma, which could save you up to $2,000. Plus, get no-cost maintenance and more. The event ends October 31st, so see your New England Toyota dealer. Your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
A Hell's Kitchen Surf and Turf Challenge.
Grab something.
Why am I getting so upset over a fish?
Try something, Just bring a damn fish! What a bizarre evening.
All new Hell's Kitchen. Then
Lego meets Cirque du Soleil. Yes, that was me in the zebra costume. Yeah.
it's a brick-bending extravaganza that goes from high wire to haywire.
Well, we have a problem.
All new Lego Masters after an all-new Hell's Kitchen. Thursday on Fox.
It's been almost a year since a young vet tech from Brewer passed away from cancer. Allison O'Coin was just 24 years old, and to honor her memory, a scholarship was created at UMA Bangor in her name. As Jody Hersey tells us, it just seemed fitting that the first recipient of this award also happens to be named Allison.
Definitely a coincidence and definitely fate that brought us together.
Allison Winship of Holton is the first recipient of the Allison Marie O'Coin Vet Tech Memorial Scholarship from the University of Maine Augusta in Bangor. But the connection between these two Allisons doesn't end there. Winship also works at Broadway Vet in Bangor, where O'Coin worked before her passing on November 7, 2022.
Yeah, I knew her for less than a year at Broadway, but she went to the UMA school before me, so I'd see her around sometimes, and it was just nice to have another friend who was also the same name.
O'Coin's mother, Deb, thinks it's no coincidence at all that Winship received the scholarship.
That was definitely Allison picking that Allie got that scholarship. I believe that she's watching over all of us.
Allison O'Coin loved animals, especially kittens. It's why she was so passionate about being a vet tech. It was a field she was designed to be a part of, so losing her devastated many who knew her.
I just remember the day that she was driven home by Dr. Albert from work, and he says, "Allison, you're so ill. Why are you still doing this?" And she says, "Because I love my job, and that gets me through every day."
Seeing a scholarship go to a deserving vet tech has also helped Deb O'Coin see that some good has come from her daughter's passing.
Just know Allison would be very proud that this was happening and that she could be helping people, because that's what she was about.
Hopefully other students in the future will be able to, have her memory and bring it to life, that she will never be forgotten, that this field will never forget.
In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
What a great way to remember her, too.
Yeah, I have mutual friends with Allison, and they just say that she was just a light, just such a good person.
But she'd be happy to see what they're doing.
Yep. All right, the time now is 8:22.
Let's get a full look at our weather forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Tip Trailer Grocers, offering discounted and a great selection of local produce, meat, and dairy. So as you get into things this morning, maybe a few areas of dense fog developing in a few spots this morning near the Millinocket area, maybe in a few other spots as well. But overall, we're looking pretty good as we start things off this morning. Not much going on otherwise in the atmosphere. The satellite's looking pretty clear out there. No rain at all either. We have some clouds off toward the west, but we may have a few clouds moving in today, but otherwise, a lot of sunshine will be common. It will be a great day to get outside. The pattern is staying rather active further off towards the west for the time being across a good part of the country. But as for us, high pressure is in control for now, which does equal a lot of sunshine for the time being. Maybe a few passing clouds, and that'll be about it. Breaking all this down with futurecast, a few clouds possible today, but otherwise a lot of sunshine. By later on tonight, some clear skies at times. Some clouds moving overnight. Maybe a shower possible in a few spots, but otherwise, as we head towards Wednesday, most of us staying dry, but notice further off towards the north, some showers possible near the Presque Isle and the Caribou area. Maybe making it further down to the south of that line from time to time as well. But again, most of us staying dry, just dealing with the clouds, and that'll be about it. But a few showers may try to sneak in here as we head towards early Thursday morning before those clouds begin to break up. But otherwise, let's talk about the rain over the next several days. Nothing meaningful at all. You might get a shower or two from time to time over the next several days, and that'll be about it. And most of that will occur as we head towards Wednesday, and that'll be about it. But otherwise, as we talk about the gusty winds, you might get a little bit of that today, reaching up to maybe 15 miles per hour at its worst, and that'll be about it. Whatever it picks up will back off a little bit later on tonight. Once we head towards tomorrow, maybe a few more gusty winds, perhaps reaching up to 20 to maybe 25 miles per hour at times in a few spots. As our average high temperature is now 55 degrees, we'll reach for the upper 50s today before we do the middle 60s Wednesday, lower 70s Thursday, back in the upper 60s Friday, lower 70s again for you Saturday, then a cool down on the way Sunday to Monday, where lower 50s will be common. coming. Forecast for today, upper 50s, a lot of sunshine. It'll be awesome out there. South wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, lower 40s, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for showers out there, especially to the north. South wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, slight chance for showers, especially to the northern parts of the state, with highs in the middle 60s and that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Tip Trailer Grocers, showing a partly cloudy sky on Thursday with highs in the lower 70s, upper 60s for your Friday with a mostly cloudy sky, partly cloudy on Saturday, highs in the low 70s.
Hood milking you. It's why we do what we do. Day in and day out. Making milk you can trust, with no artificial growth hormones. And we protect Hood milk with our light block bottle. We care about our milk because we know how much you care about what you give your family. So you can feel good about Hood.
Pro football fans, it's You Pick'em NFL, the Pro Football Challenge from Fox 22. Go to foxbangor.com, click on You Pick'em, and go to You Pick'em NFL. Make your picks, and you could be the weekly winner of either a $25 gift certificate from Chase's Family Restaurant in Bangor or from Chick-fil-A in Bangor. Brought to you by Mainly Eyes in Bangor, Twin City Tile in Brewer, Twin City Tint in Brewer, and Winterport Sheds. Compete all season long for the grand prize of $5,000. It's You Pick'em NFL from foxbangor.com.
Name a place you love being naked.
Does Steve sing her a song, get super shy, pull out flowers?
Can't you look at me?
No, ma'am. I don't want to make eye contact with you. Only reason I'm asking you this because it's on the card.
Steve, you would have asked me that in your younger days.
Family Feud, the only choice.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
An off-duty airline pilot will face 83 charges of attempted murder today after allegedly trying to crash a plane on the way to San Francisco. The suspect was hitching a ride in the cockpit, which is common when pilots travel to other cities for work. But before the incident, the suspect made a comment similar to, "I'm not right." ABC's Ike Kajachi has more.
This morning, the FBI is investigating after an off-duty pilot allegedly tried to crash a passenger plane. Alaska Airlines Flight 2059 left Everett, Washington for San Francisco Sunday, packed with 80 passengers, and in the cockpit, 44-year-old Joseph Emerson, an off-duty pilot with Alaska Air, hitching a ride in the jump seat. Soon after takeoff, officials say Emerson tried to cut the plane's engines by pulling the fire extinguisher handles, known as the T-handles.
The T-handle, which is what this individual tried to pull on each engine, actually turns the engine off and prepares it for a fire extinguisher. The problem is, at high altitude, you can get the engines restarted. At low altitude, there could be a fatal result.
The crew was able to overpower Emerson, handcuffing him to a seat in the cabin.
We've got the guy that tried to shut the engines down out of the cockpit. Doesn't sound like he's causing any issue in the back right now. I think he's the dude.
The pilots then diverted to Portland, where Emerson was taken into custody.
After we did land and the gentleman was escorted off, the flight attendant got back on the speaker and said, plain and simple, he had a mental breakdown.
The FAA relies on pilots to self-report any mental health conditions during annual visits with aviation medical examiners. Pilots only get additional psychological testing if it's requested by their examiner. The FAA recently acknowledged hiring additional mental health professionals. As for Joseph Emerson, a neighbor described him as friendly.
We just can't imagine him doing anything that would hurt anyone.
Ike Kajachi, ABC News, Washington.
And now on to the latest on the war in Israel. The United States is now weighing options to respond to Iranian-backed militants in the Middle East. This as the Biden administration continues to urge Israel to delay its planned ground invasion in order to free more hostages. We hear once again from ABC's Ike Jachi.
This morning, ABC News learning the U.S. military is weighing more options to respond to Iranian-backed militants in the Middle East after Israel ramped up its war against Hamas in Gaza. In an exclusive interview with ABC News, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says the U.S. is ready to protect its interests in the region.
We're going to do what's necessary to make sure that our troops are in the good position, they're protected, and that we have the ability to respond.
The White House accusing Iran of actively facilitating rocket and drone attacks on U.S. military bases in the region, from Syria to Iraq and beyond.
I don't believe that the Hezbollah leadership does want to get involved, but ultimately they're going to get a lot of guidance from Iran.
The Biden administration has advised Israeli officials to consider delaying its ground invasion in order to secure the release of more hostages. This dramatic video showing the moment two elderly Israeli hostages, 85-year-old Yoshev Lifshitz and 79-year-old Nurit Kupfer, were released, arriving at the border between Gaza and Egypt. The U.S. says efforts are ongoing to secure the release of 10 Americans and about 200 other hostages still being held. This as humanitarian aid into Gaza is still trickling in. At Egypt's Rafah border crossing, a relatively small amount of aid, just 20 trucks, getting into Gaza for the third day. Hundreds more trucks filled with badly needed water, food, and medicine waiting to be cleared. Israeli Defense Forces say 3 Hamas deputy commanders were killed overnight after troops carried out an attack in what they're calling a military compound owned by Hezbollah. The IDF says the attack was in response to launches from Lebanon. Ike Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll check out how students in Herman are gathering socks for a good cause, and they have some big shoes to fill with a quota of 1,000.
We'll explain as Good Morning Maine continues.
Jerry's Used Cars has been a family-owned business for more than 30 years, currently in Corinna and Vesey. However, we have changed a little as we are no longer just a buy here, pay here dealership. We now have access to outside financing and also carry utility trailers. We would be happy to assist you with your next vehicle purchase. And don't forget, here at Jerry's Used Cars, we offer an extended warranty. So give us a call at either our Corinna or Vesey location.
On the next Last Man Standing,
your numbers are a little elevated. It's very common, particularly with men in high-stress jobs.
Mike's blood pressure goes through the roof.
Listen, you need to eliminate things that cause you stress.
I live in a house with 4 women.
Yikes.
And with 3 teenage daughters, he hasn't got a chance.
Then, all things considered, you're doing pretty well.
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22. You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. It is also United Nations Day.
This day marks the anniversary of the entry into force in 1945 of the UN Charter. To this day, there's no other global organization with the legitimacy, convening power, and normative impact of the United Nations. And importantly, you can't have a conversation about world politics without a basic understanding of the United Nations. Okay, now for some history. On this day in 1926, Harry Houdini made his final performance at the age of 52 at the Garrick Theater in Detroit. He had apparently been suffering from appendicitis for several days, but refused treatment. He died one week later on Halloween. And just a few years later, in 1929, it was called Black Thursday, being the start of the major stock market crash, in which the Dow Jones was down by 12.8%.
In 1938, the United States made a law forbidding child labor in factories, and it took 2 years for all the standards that went along with the law to go into effect. They include a minimum wage and a 44-hour work week.
A lot of things changed in the work environment after the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in 1947, there was a series of forest fires that burned over $30 million worth of timber across the states here in New England. And in 1973, John Lennon sued the U.S. government in hopes the FBI would admit to tapping his phone, and they denied doing so. I've been reading about it all morning long since then because I don't know much about it, but a very interesting case involving John Lennon there.
Is there a documentary you're going to watch about it later?
Yeah, NPR has something on the whole thing.
Cool.
And I think it had to do with, you know, he was kind of against the Vietnam War, and he was singing against it, and also they were talking about promoting some anti-war concerts and things.
Right.
And so the FBI was investigating because of that, and they actually had a big effort to deport him, send him out of the country. He was living here without a visa for a couple of years, and it's really an interesting situation. I never knew about it.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Cool, cool. I'll have to watch that too. Yeah. And for birthdays today, we have Canadian rapper Drake. He's 37 today. Celtics point guard Jaylen Brown is 27. And former member of the Cheetah Girls and current daytime talk show host Adrienne Bailon is 40 years old today.
Happy birthday to all of them.
Yeah, Cheetah Girls was kind of like my generation's Destiny's Child.
Yeah. I used to watch them all the time.
Yeah.
Well, with my daughter, not just by myself. But,
right.
but
yes.
Over and over and over. That and Hannah Montana.
Right.
About the same time.
It was the same era.
So
yeah. Cool.
Looking like a wicked nice day today.
Yeah, a good day to get outside for sure.
Yeah.
Here's Devin Bakes with that forecast.
All righty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Tip Trailer Grocers, offering discounted and a great selection of local produced meat and dairy. So let's get into things this morning. And overall, a little bit of areas of dense fog developing in a few spots this morning near the Millinocket area, maybe in a few other spots as well, but nothing too ridiculous to worry about there this morning. Radar and satellite is very quiet. We'll say dry all day long, and just a few clouds at best say, and I'll be about it. So a lot of sunshine will be common today. So get outside and enjoy it. It will be a nice day to do anything outside, as we're going to be watching for eventually some rain that's moving from the west to the east. This will fizzle out and miss us as it tracks off towards the east over time. So otherwise, no futurecast for today. Watching for some clouds that will be moving through on and off from time to time. But overall, we're looking pretty good. A few clouds moving through as we head towards early Wednesday morning. Perhaps a shower possible, too. We'll have to keep an eye on that, too. We'll watch as it tracks off towards the south and east. As for the winds, not a big deal at all. Roughly out of the southwest at around 5 to 10 miles per hour today. Rather, it's staying mainly consistent as we do move forward later on tonight as well. And also tomorrow, looking a little bit more gusty with some winds up to 10 miles per hour or more. So otherwise, for today, upper 50s, mostly sunny, awesome out there today. With the south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, lower 40s, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for showers. South wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. A lot of sunshine out there with temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
I'm thinking a lot of families are wondering that if we could just keep that going for Halloween and maybe trick-or-treating.
Bottle it up for the scary night.
Right. It's not fun to trick-or-treat in the rain.
No, I've done it. I've done it in the snow,
Yeah.
below, almost down to zero. Boy, it's not fun.
Your Halloween costume can be ruined.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, well, Herman Middle School students are working towards a special goal with their Socktober campaign this month. All fifth through eighth graders at the school are encouraged to bring in new pairs of socks throughout the month that will then be given to the homeless. The donations are collected in boxes in each homeroom, and the classroom that collects the most will win a pizza party.
Socktober is not something we came up with, but it is something where you look in your community and what's needed, and if socks are needed for our community, especially for the winter months, and the kids rally together, do a fundraiser. We make a little competition for a pizza party to collect socks for those in need.
Mrs. Walls says the goal is to collect 1,000 pairs of socks by the end of the month. So far, students have donated 450 pairs, so there is still time to reach their goal.
Nice lesson for them, too.
Yeah.
They say it's like one of the most popular items that the homeless community wishes for when they're asked about donations and things like that.
Right, yeah, when you put together those little care packages, it's kind of one of the necessary things to include in there.
Yeah, good job by the students, and good luck as you continue that effort.
Absolutely. All right, still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz will have the latest with sports.
Don't go away.
In 10 years, Lisa Schneider will have an amazing second act, thanks to career reskilling courses from AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Nothing brings people together like good food with the freshest ingredients. All natural Fage sour cream is so rich, so creamy, so good. Daringly simple, amazingly delicious. Discover Fage sour cream.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
From the land to the sea, Chase's Family Restaurant is the place to be.
Are you looking for a place to unwind after a long day?
Then come check out our Hideaway Lounge.
With a bar that's both upbeat and laid back. And it's the perfect atmosphere for anyone who wants to unwind after work.
Or kick it up for the weekends with daily drink specials and a full dinner menu.
You can fill up on a good time any night of the week.
Thank you for being a part of our family.
Here at Chase's Family Restaurant.
25 words or less.
Cereal bowl.
Killer. Catch eerie new episodes.
I love Lisa's response to cereal.
Killer. Do not have breakfast with Lisa.
Full of frightful fun.
Monster. Dracula.
Zombie.
Frankenstein. Yes!
And tons of treats.
A widower.
5 days a week.
You're going on with another $10,000. Wow!
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
Anybody ever seen anything like this?
The city needs you.
911 Lone Star, tonight on Fox.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start with the big news on the football field. The Patriots pulling off a huge upset and getting a much-needed win this weekend over the Buffalo Bills. The Bills came into this one at the top of the AFC East, one of the top teams, but the Patriots looked like a brand new team on Sunday, leading most of the game. After letting the lead slip late, Mac Jones marching the offense down the field for a last-second touchdown to cap off a 75-yard game-winning drive. They deserved that gritty. Right now, they just hope they can build on that performance as they await Miami next Sunday.
Yeah, I think just keep fighting, and it's just a crumb, right? That's what I always say, and you got to build off that. You got to build off that and attack every day the same, and it's all about playing for each other, playing for the guy next to you, and understanding why. So we did that today, and we need to continue to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. It's every week's its own week. Every day is an opportunity for us to either get better or get worse. So. Hopefully we'll just keep taking advantage of our opportunities and keep moving in the right direction.
All right, let's stay with some football now. It was a thriller down in North Carolina this weekend for Maine football, ultimately falling short of an enormous fourth quarter comeback. Maine trailed 28-7 at the half to Campbell College and 34-14 as late as the fourth quarter, but fell short in their 2-minute drill after making it a one-possession game and dropped the game 34-28. A huge part of that comeback was senior quarterback Derek Robertson. Robertson, who has been on a tear lately, throwing for 503 yards and 4 touchdowns in the game, setting a program record for passing yards in regulation. And in his coach's call on Monday morning, Coach Jordan Stevens with some high praise for his QB.
Can't say enough about his leadership and just the heart and fight that he plays with, and his ability to make decisions on the field, his ability to get the ball where it needs to go, not based on personnel but just based on where the ball needs to go. So we definitely have the skill and the personnel on the outside to fit with Derek, and Derek's done a great job and continues to progress throughout the year.
All right, let's stay at the University of Maine now. The Black Bears cross-country team is wrapping up their season. They've got one of the biggest races of the season coming up this weekend at home. On Friday morning, the university is hosting the America East Championships right here in Orono at Penobscot Valley Country Club. The Black Bears have been doing pretty well lately. Bangor's Megan Randall recently placing 7th overall, and the men's team as a whole placing 7th overall as well in a group of 34 teams. So the Black Bears, they're feeling pretty good heading into the big race.
I think we haven't had a team this strong in quite some time, so it's exciting to see kind of everything come together, and the team really perform at each meet we've gone to. We've definitely gone to some bigger meets where we faced some really good teams.
We've been working really hard at practice, and then at meets we ran well at IC4As. We have a few people coming back from injury and they're getting healthier, and it's all coming together pretty well right now, I think.
All right, exciting stuff for sure. It's also big for the local kids on the team, like Randall, the former Ram, and like Troxel, a Daring High grad, also a former Ram. They are both going to have some home fans in the crowd cheering them on Friday. And for Troxel, it's one of his last races ever. So to have it at home is something he's been looking forward to for a while.
That's super special. It's something that was talked about my freshman year. We knew there was the opportunity that if some of us went to grad school, we'd be able to compete at home. And it's super special to see it come together.
It'll be fun to see some teachers. I know we've asked some of our teachers to come watch, and friends and family, so it'll be awesome. It's awesome to see their support for the team and for UMaine. It's very exciting, yeah.
All right, wishing them the best of luck. Let's talk some hockey now. It has been a great start to the season for the Boston Bruins, winning 3 games in 4 days on the West Coast to improve to 5-0 on the year. A lot of the reason for that hot start has been the goaltending tandem of UMaine's Jeremy Swayman and Linus Ullmark. The duo has faced 150 shots over their 5 games and stopped 143 of them. That's a .953 save percentage for those of you counting at home. But in their most recent win, it was all about the young 19-year-old rookie Matthew Poitras. The kid scoring not only his first NHL goal, but his first 2 pro goals in the 3-1 victory over Anaheim, and afterwards getting loads of praise from his head coach.
He's a hockey player. He competes. He believes in himself. He's always looking to hang on to pucks and make plays that are going to produce offense. If you're going to produce in this league, you got to be willing to play inside the dots, and that's what I love about him. Is whether it's one-on-one battles in corners or getting hard areas, he's willing to go to areas where you're going to have success.
It's pretty surreal. I mean, just seeing the puck go in the net, I was really excited, and I don't really know what I did, but I kind of blacked out a little bit, but just super excited and super happy. It's a surreal feeling.
Got to be a great feeling for the kid. That's all the time we have for sports. Be right back after the break.
From a gallon of gas to a gallon of milk, everything costs more these days. And question 3 will make things worse. It'll cost billions, and we'll be on the hook for it. It will increase our electric bills. And question 3, it doesn't require an operations plan, not even for emergencies or power outages. Question 3 is too costly and too risky for my family. I'm voting no on 3. It's a bad idea for Maine.
As we age, we want to keep our independent spirit. As Mainers, we want to live life our way. That means enjoying everything life offers us here in Maine. It means making choices that can help you live your best life. Choices like your healthcare coverage and your healthcare team, so you can be prepared for almost anything. United Healthcare and Northern Light Health are working together in Maine to help keep you healthier, so you can live life to the fullest. If you're eligible for Medicare, you may be able to enroll in a United Healthcare Northern Light Health Medicare Advantage plan today. Take the step to make sure you have the coverage you need to help keep you active and thriving as you age. Call United Healthcare at 1-800-203-7205 or visit uhcnewengland.com.
There's a reason why Maine's state slogan is the way life should be. It's because our beautiful state is full of humble people, workers, business owners, and neighbors making a difference in their community. I'm always looking for positive and encouraging news stories about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. How fortunate am I that I get to share these special stories? Watch the good news weekdays on Fox 22 News at 10.
Climate scientists and advocates continue their calls for reductions in fossil fuel use and production, but as efforts to decrease greenhouse gas emissions press on, a new study says it's too late to prevent a large chunk of Antarctic ice from being wiped out in the future.
Fox News' Ted Linder takes a closer look at the impacts of human-caused climate change and how what's going on in the Arctic could threaten people living thousands of miles away.
A new study is spelling doom for a large portion of Antarctica and revealing potentially dangerous consequences for people living in coastal communities around the world.
It's pretty bad news all around.
According to research published in the journal Nature Climate Change, even if global carbon emissions are reduced, it won't be enough to stop a massive section of Antarctic ice from completely melting. Using computer simulations, scientists found there is little to no hope for the West Antarctic ice sheet, citing how rising ocean temperatures will continue chipping away at it even if carbon emissions decline. While researchers say it'll take hundreds of years for the ice to fully melt, it'll likely cause global sea levels to rise by roughly 6 feet. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, 10 feet of sea level rise is likely enough to put parts of Miami and South Florida underwater.
It's unavoidable that the problem gets worse.
Nations that signed the Paris Climate Agreement aim to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Still, the Earth has already warmed by 1.2 degrees Celsius. And this comes as data from NOAA found the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is now 50% higher than it was before the industrial era.
I definitely don't want people to read this study and say, oh, there isn't any hope, we should just give up. Because the West Antarctic, it's not the whole world. There's so many other impacts of climate change that we probably still can avoid, even if this isn't one of them.
Ted Linder, Fox News.
Not good news any way you look at it.
Right, yeah. Depressing.
We have some promising news for you, though, today. It looks like a beautiful day. How do you like that quick turnaround?
There you go.
Yeah.
The sun's out. Here's Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Tip Trailer Grocers, offering discounted and a great selection of local produce, meat, and dairy. So as you get into things this morning, maybe a few areas of dense fog developing in a few spots this morning near the Millinocket area, maybe in a few other spots as well. But overall, we're looking pretty good as we start things off this morning. Not much going on otherwise in the atmosphere. The satellite's looking pretty clear out there. No rain at all either. We have some clouds off toward the west, but we may have a few clouds moving in today, but otherwise, a lot of sunshine will be common. It will be a great day to get outside. The pattern is staying rather active further off towards the west for the time being across a good part of the country. But as for us, high pressure is in control for now, which does equal a lot of sunshine for the time being. Maybe a few passing clouds, and that'll be about it. Breaking all this down with futurecast, a few clouds possible today, but otherwise a lot of sunshine. By later on tonight, some clear skies at times. Some clouds moving overnight. Maybe a shower possible in a few spots, but otherwise, as we head towards Wednesday, most of us staying dry, but notice further off towards the north, some showers possible near the Presque Isle and the Caribou area. Maybe making it further down to the south of that line from time to time as well. But again, most of us staying dry, just dealing with the clouds, and that'll be about it. But a few showers may try to sneak in here as we head towards early Thursday morning before those clouds begin to break up. But otherwise, let's talk about the rain over the next several days. Nothing meaningful at all. You might get a shower or two from time to time over the next several days, and that'll be about it. And most of that will occur as we head towards Wednesday, and that'll be about it. But otherwise, as we talk about the gusty winds, you might get a little bit of that today, reaching up to maybe 15 miles per hour at its worst, and that'll be about it. Whatever it picks up will back off a little bit later on tonight. Once we head towards tomorrow, maybe a few more gusty winds, perhaps reaching up to 20 to maybe 25 miles per hour at times in a few spots. As our average high temperature is now 55 degrees, we'll reach for the upper 50s today before we do the middle 60s Wednesday, lower 70s Thursday, back in the upper 60s Friday, lower 70s again for you Saturday, then a cool down on the way Sunday to Monday, where lower 50s will be common. Forecast for today, upper 50s, a lot of sunshine. It'll be awesome out there. South wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, lower 40s, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for showers out there, especially to the north. South wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, slight chance for showers, especially to the northern parts of the state, with highs in the middle 60s and that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Tip Trailer Grocers, showing a partly cloudy sky on Thursday with highs in the lower 70s, upper 60s for your Friday with a mostly cloudy sky, partly cloudy on Saturday, highs in the low 70s.
At your Toyota all-wheel drive headquarters, we see the world differently. You might see a sunny road, but we see the treacherous road it could become in winter. So to prepare you, we're holding the Toyota all-wheel drive savings event. You can save up to $3,700 with 1.99 financing on an all-electric BZ4X. Plus, get $2,500 financing cash for total savings of up to $6,200. So see your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Some things are worth waiting for. Something reliable, something loyal, something long-lasting. A 6-year warranty? Coyote's got that. One machine for all the dirty work? Count on Coyote. Coyote won't break your heart, and Whittemore & Sons got the deals that won't break the bank. So quit swiping and settling for less. Slide into Whittemore & Sons and be treated like family by a family who cares. 257 Waterville Road, Skowhegan.
To keep the doors open as long as we have, the customers always come first. And that's why we're against Question 3. Question 3 costs $13.5 billion. That's billion with a B, which could mean higher taxes for all Mainers. It turns our power grid over to the politicians, the same politicians that take money from the oil and gas companies. They put themselves first, not us. Question 3 is a risk Mainers cannot afford.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
The Federal Trade Commission is planning to hire extra help to guide its efforts to regulate social media companies. In an interview with The Record, FTC Democratic Commissioner Alvaro Bedoya says the agency plans to bring on child psychologists. Bedoya says the move would help the commission get expert advice on how social media may affect users' mental health, as well as the impact of dark patterns. Bedoya says the agency is hoping to hire child psychologists by next fall. According to the report, the FTC has put an emphasis on safeguarding children when they go online.
Striking actors are heading back to the negotiating table with Hollywood's major studios. The Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA, and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, AMPTP, will meet for bargaining on Tuesday, which is, of course, today. This comes about 2 weeks after the studios abruptly broke off talks, saying the two sides were too far apart. Issues the Actors Union has been negotiating on include artificial intelligence's role in the entertainment industry, better compensation and benefits, and the Actors Union also now has surpassed the 100-day mark. So could see some changes and maybe some more delays in our favorite TV shows and movies.
That's not good.
Nope.
Meanwhile, a deserving family will have a new place to call home. Habitat for Humanity of Greater Bangor handed over the keys to the brand new home yesterday to mark the organization's 28th house dedication.
Amber Follis and her two daughters will live at the new home on Main Street in Orono. Students and volunteers at Eastern Maine Community College worked together to build the house on campus. In order to qualify for the home, Follis had to meet certain income requirements and put in what she described as 200 sweat equity hours.
I actually assisted with building the 2 front porches, so I learned a lot of good homeowner skills that I didn't know before.
Follis and her 2 daughters will move into the home later this month. If you're interested in volunteering with Habitat for Humanity of Greater Bangor, visit their website at habitatbangor.org.
What a great program, too. I've been involved in a couple of those things over the years, and it's just so rewarding to go there and know you're helping somebody else.
Yeah, it doesn't seem also like they need skilled labor. You can kind of do all sorts of different stuff. Like it's not specifically carpenters.
Yeah, they'll find something for you to do. That's one of the good things about the program too, is it gets the people who are going to benefit from it involved. As they were saying, they have to do a certain amount of sweat equity, which means they have to go and help build that house.
Right.
You know, and maybe they're not the ones using the rip saw or things like that, but they'll find something for them to do.
Cool.
So
yeah, and like she said, that makes her a better prepared homeowner.
Yeah, she'll appreciate even that much more probably.
Yeah, love it.
So, yeah.
Okay, it looks like we're running out of time, so if you missed anything, please head to foxbangor.com.
Get out there and enjoy the sun, and have a great day, everyone.